Capital Update, a review of state government for the week ending Friday, September 3rd. I'm Teresa Marcinberg. Judge John Cooper said it last week, and he put it in writing this week. The Parents' Bill of Rights does not give the DeSantis administration the authority to block local school districts from mandating masks. The governor immediately appealed, kicking off a legal seesaw as school board members continue to face financial penalties, political pressure, and even physical threats for not giving parents the choice to send their kids to school without a mask.
Maybe the reason why we have people in the hospitals all this mask wearing. Did we ever think of that? Did we ever think of that?
Excuse me, ma'am, you're out of order. I'm sorry. Excuse me, this is your first warning. Ma'am, this is your last warning.
At school board meetings again this week, angry parents shout, scream, chant, and weep.
I choose COVID over cancer for my children any day.
Often drowning out the voices of parents, teachers, and healthcare workers who want universal masking in schools.
Please don't let the selfishness of some hurt the health of all, especially our children. In the end, the anger over personal liberty will fade, but the serious illness or death of a child won't.
Lee and Brevard joined the list of school boards no longer allowing parents to choose. Still, opponents vow to defy the policies.
These tyrants got to go. They don't care about your children. As a matter of fact, they hate them. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. Get it? Okay.
They promised to remove local school board members and superintendents who plead for decorum and grace, a term not heard much since the early days of COVID.
I'm going to tell you that your time is up. The people of the state and this district are rising up, and you have awakened a sleeping beast.
Outside the meetings, those who support universal masking are shoved, and the threats are replaced by fists and jabs. In schools, leaders are swamped by rising COVID-19 cases, disruptive quarantines, staffing shortages, and in some cases, deaths.
We're struggling as an organization to make sure that we're still afloat. Every day, we're a few people away from a school not being able to teach your kids. That's a problem for me.
Leaders in Taylor and Gulf counties notified parents that schools would be closed for the first few days in September due to COVID-19. As these scenes played out at school board meetings across Florida, a judge in Leon County weighed in again this week, siding with parents who want universal masking. Judge John Cooper used the state's defense against them, writing that the Parents' Bill of Rights does not ban school board face mask mandates.
The law expressly permits school boards to adopt policies regarding the health care of students, such as a face mask mandate, even if a parent disagrees with that policy.
Prior to that written order, the state began withholding funds from the first two districts in Florida to implement mask mandates against the will of the DeSantis administration. Others were told to reverse course or face similar financial penalties. To maintain their threats, the state sought action to stop the judge's order from taking effect while it's appealed. So, school boards lawyered up and braced for another month of financial and legal repercussions and more academic interruptions due to COVID-19.
So we've had 15 days of school and 611 positive student cases, and an average of 40.7 a day, per day.
Deaths were up this week from COVID, but there are signs things might be leveling off, at least for now. There were 139,334 new COVID cases in Florida over the last 7 days. That's down from 148,000 the week before. The rate of infection was also down from 691 for every 100,000 people to almost 649. Deaths were up, though. 449 people lost their battle with COVID this week, up from 371 the week before. That's what the Centers for Disease Control is reporting using data from the state. But there are a lot of lingering questions about why the state stopped providing daily COVID data online in June. One representative is suing the state after his request to the Orange County Health Department for daily information about COVID-19 cases, positivity rates, hospitalizations, deaths, and vaccinations was denied.
We're asking for two things. First, access to those critical public health records here in the Orlando area that we requested. Second, we're demanding the state reinstitute the daily COVID-19 dashboard reporting so that everyone can access this data, which they have a constitutional right to, especially during this deadly pandemic.
The Department of Health told Smith the requested information was deemed confidential and exempt from public disclosure under state law. The Open Government Group Florida Center for Government Accountability joined Smith in the lawsuit. As COVID deaths continue to climb in the state, Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried held a moment of silence in the state Capitol building, compelling